Hello, Taylor Elwood here, and welcome to the Magical Experiments YouTube channel. And tonight I am talking about somatic, developing your energy through somatic posture, Qigong meditation, standing meditation, and things along those lines. So, as some of you know, I do practice Qigong on a regular basis. I also study Kung Fu. And the other night, my Sifu, in the Kung Fu studio, he had us do a standing posture where we had to, I'll just show it to you here. We had to like stand like this. And then we also had to stand to the side like that and hold the posture for a bit. It's kind of interesting to do that. We did that for a bit. We were standing in horse stance, and it was kind of it was a good it was a good practice to do, so I'm going to actually try and apply it. I've done some standing meditation where what you do is you just stand and you kind of you focus on your posture and on the alignments, and you're dissolving the chi. So I'll show you that too. If I go here and I'm like standing like this, you can kind of see, and then you kind of just are standing, and you're causing your muscles to wrap. So when you wrap muscles, it's like you're causing the muscles to kind of go and turn a bit. And the benefit of wrapping the muscles is that it helps you feel, it helps you kind of tap into and connect with the physical body, and helps you get your posture in the right alignment. You don't want to tense it too much though. Like with any of these practices, you don't want to be too tense. You ultimately want to be able to be grounded and relaxed. I mean, you are going to feel it in your muscles. I know this because like I was feeling it the other night, but you want to be able to settle into a steady stance. I was meeting with a friend of mine after the Kung Fu session. We got together afterwards. We both go to the same studio, and he was showing me this book called Supple as a Leopard, and how the advice in that book had helped him straighten his posture even more. And I've been actually working on my posture, causing my back, straightening my back out, up, making sure that my neck's a bit more, aligned. Because as a tall person, the tendency is to lean in. That's one of the things I've done. I can, lean in, especially when I'm working with computers, but also even when you're interacting with people, there can be a tendency to kind of feel like you have to lean in to not seem as tall. And that's not necessarily helpful. So with this work, one of the things that I've really been steadily focusing on is paying better attention to my posture and my movements when I do different forms with Kung Fu or Qigong, and really trying to move my posture in a way that is, has me like sitting up, it has me standing up straight, and I'm moving in a certain way, and it's helping me to have better posture in general. And it's kind of one of those cases where it's actually probably going to be better for my back and neck health, and just overall health in general, the spinal health. But this is one of those practices that can be quite helpful to cultivate for your internal energy or your chi. And I recommend that if you can, trying to do some kind of standing practice every day, even if it's just for like 5 minutes, but like standing in such a way where you are standing straighter, like you're really aware of how your body is standing and how the body settles into and relaxes into the experience. This can be very important in terms of the actual overall experience. And I find that for me at least, in terms of paying attention to it, it's kind of key, because it's helping me to be more aware of the internal energy and the qi and how I move it and flow with it when I'm doing kung fu, but also qigong. And also even how I become more present with it when I'm doing energetic practices spiritually, and like my magical practices. So I think that this kind of practice can be absolutely beneficial and helpful if you are doing qigong for the purposes of your spiritual practice. And of course, I mean, not everyone does it for that reason. Some people will do qigong for purposes of just physical health, and that's fine. Or maybe even like mental health, because you can definitely, when you're standing and you're doing some of this work and you're dissolving some of the qi, you can feel like the blockages dissolve. So that kind of work can be essential to the overall experience. For me, I find that the qigong plays a very important role in the development of somatic meditation and experiences, because what I'm also doing with this is I'm learning to attune myself to more subtle energies in the environment around me. So if I'm paying attention to how I'm standing, I'm not just paying attention to the physical posture, I'm paying attention to how the physical posture translates over energetically and how this makes me more receptive, ideally, to different spiritual forces. And the idea really is that you come into alignment with the spiritual forces and work with them in a way that is powerful and potent. And you can do a practice like standing qigong to kind of help you warm up for doing that work. I don't always do this with every ritual, but I think like one practice that you could do with like a ritual is to actually kind of warm up during that practice and like take care of yourself. And it's very powerful and potent to do that, because you're building up the overall energetic your connection with the energy and helping to build it up and direct it and focus it. So that's something I would recommend as well. And you could do some qigong movements as well also. The key thing with this is really pay attention to the alignments of your body. Now, there's some good websites and some good resources out there. There's some really good books. I like energyarts.com, which is Bruce Francis, and I highly recommend his work. I've taken a number of his classes, not met the guy, but taken them through online video, and I found that even that is translated over really well. So again, like you want to check these kinds of practices out that can be really helpful. And this is just something I wanted to share with you, because it's something I've been experimenting and working with, and I'm going to be working with it further when I get the Supple as a Leopard book, because I'm really curious to see how different postures and movements can help me become even more supple and allow me to take better care of myself. And I think that as magicians, we need, yes, for practicing magic and stuff, but we need to take care of our bodies. We need to recognize that, how we take care of the physical does align with the emotional, mental, and spiritual energies, and can help us to direct all of those in a really powerful and potent way.